Okay, in this video, we're going to be talking about the drain cleaning strategy, the management model, all the things that go into building a winning drain cleaning campaign. Now, Google Ads is just an advertising vehicle. It's one of the fastest ways to grow your business, but putting together a strategy that makes sense can be applied to any tactic, right? So, strategy first, focus on your market, your message, and then the media that you're going to deliver everything on. And believe it or not, Google gives you all the information you need to make decisions to help you adjust your outcome. And we're going to talk about some of the elements that we incorporate into our campaigns depending on the strategy. And I won't give you all my secrets, but you'll get a good handle on the power of Google Ads and what you can actually do to get good efficiency out of your budget. Tim McHale, McHale's Plumbing, he's been a client of ours for a very long time. I think we're going on 8 years now. Last year, every year is better and better. He's always pushed it. We have a nice model that we follow. Last year we did well over 4,800 paid calls, about 500 form submissions. We're in that ballpark somewhere. And a good percentage of these calls are drain and sewer, right? And Tim's a good guy, great business, great family story. Recently acquired by a private equity firm, but he's still with the business. So everything we shared with you today, we apply to lots of drain cleaning companies across the country, and I've been doing it for quite a long time. So we're going to walk you through the assembly instructions because we wouldn't be ad machines unless there was some kind of assembly process that goes into it. We're not just slapping together ads. We're not just slapping together landing pages. This all looks great, but it doesn't work unless you have some type of back-end strategy that you're following. So I want to talk to you a little bit about some of those rules that we follow with drain cleaning in particular. Some basic common sense things, some basic common sense business practices. First and foremost, we want to honor the loss leader. And what I mean by that is if you go into any major market right now and you find a drain cleaning company that's advertising, a $29 drain cleaning, a $39 drain cleaning, and you look at their reviews, you're going to see negative reviews around bait and switch. And sometimes this campaign will have that negative effect if you don't run it correctly. And what I mean by honor the loss leaders, get yourself some 5-star reviews where you just get the ticket, the whatever you're charging, the $69, $79, $99 drain cleaning. That definitely will help you in negating any type of negative reviews that you may get. Properly set expectations. If you watch my advertising video, then you know that we're setting expectations up front in the ad, on the landing page. It should be on in the phone script when somebody gets a drain call, and upon arrival by the technician. And you have a sales strategy, and we want to follow that sales strategy from inception to close, and properly setting expectations along the way in terms of what equipment will be used and when something will cost extra money. It's all important that you do that. All right. Number 3, make it a cleaning, not a clearing. Too many companies trip up on this. They think it's a good idea. In theory, it is. There's companies out there that do this. They advertise I think it's one of those. It's a blow bag. It goes into the sewer line and it just does a clearing. If you're going to deliver a service, deliver it right. Give value. If you're just going to half-ass it with just to get your foot in the door, I think the people that you're trying to attract in this campaign will see right through that. So we want to attract the people that are in the highest degree of pain and they need you there now, not necessarily the people that are shopping on price and can't afford your services. And number 4, don't use the word free at all, not in your loss leader campaign. it's important that you stay away from that word. If you immediately lose value when in your lead quality will suffer when you use this word. You always want to bid on first position in mobile with the campaign. If you can't get that consistently, then you may want to consider increasing your budget or decreasing your service area. It works really well, first position mobile. We're going to get into that a little bit here. Don't run the loss leader if you don't replace sewers. If you don't have the excavation equipment or a good subcontractor, or you don't have cameras, then the loss leader is not for you. Sell drain cleaning at a premium. Number 7, follow up on every call. Call every single one of the drain calls that you did. Make sure that there's a 5-star experience. This will help you intercept any type of negative reviews. We're not using any sales language, so stay away from free quote, free in-home estimate, comprehensive review, the 31 drain cleaning checklist. Again, we're trying to attract the savvy homeowner who's in need, needs you there now, and plan for the run. And what I mean by that is we have times of days that generate the most volume. If you're in a wet market, you're going to get more drain calls than you would in a dry market. And number 10, we want to make sure the math makes sense. I'm not going to get too heavy into the business side of your margin and your net profit, but from the front end, you want to be operating at about 10% on, I would say, a grouping of 10 jobs. So what I always recommend is you job cost 10 jobs, combine them as one, and figure out what your win rate is, how many drain cleanings you do, jetting, repair, replacements, and see if you're generating enough revenue to justify the marketing spend. All right, you should be 10 to 1 minimum on drain cleaning, especially with the sewer replacement side of things. This is a big ticket, high net. This is good cash flow. If you're running drain cleaning and this is a core business for you, then stay away from other plumbing things that may be eating your budget up, like faucet repair or I don't know. I mean, anything that's going to waste time where you can be investing more money on this campaign because this is where you're going to generate cash. So let's talk about keywords. Obviously, there's no secret here. Drain cleaning, drain stoppage, drain clog, drain backup, drain cleaning near me. Now we're gonna take away, and we're gonna set up a different drain campaign for types of drains: sink drains, toilet drains, tub drains, laundry drains. All of those drains will be in a different campaign. We're not going to do a loss leader with those. We want to direct the traffic into its own campaign to basically tell Google if somebody types in toilet backup or toilet drain stoppage and whatnot, we want to put the speed in there, but not the loss leader, because that's going to be a premium. You got to take the toilet up, you got to put it back down, you got to put in a wax ring. So, there's more involved with these types of drains. So we're going to isolate this, take it out of the campaign, have it its own campaign. Even if you don't want to run these calls, we're still going to put a campaign on this because it will redirect the traffic, and we'll spend a very little amount of money in advertising these terms. Also, we take Rooter, depending on the volume, we'll take Rooter and put it in its own campaign as well. A lot of traffic with the term Rooter, Roto-Rooter. You have to be careful on how you position that and how it's used, and the language that you use. There are some trademark issues here, but Roto-Rooter, it's going to generate a lot of drain calls. It's not necessarily a competitive term. Rooter more or less is the Kleenex in the drain cleaning industry. And if you're up in Chicago, rotting is pretty similar to Rooter, believe it or not. So negative keywords, we use boys' names, plumbing terms. It's important that we deflect plumbing terms on this campaign. It's always important to have a plumbing campaign running side by side, or you're going to deflect plumbing terms. Otherwise, you're going to get calls for things that you don't want to do. Drain equipment for sale. So, we're looking at, people searching for camera equipment, other plumbers searching for camera equipment, searching for snakes. A lot of that happens in the back end here, so we're going to block that. Competitors, chemical drain cleaners, Drano. We're going to block the cleaners from hitting the campaign. Septic, that's huge. A lot of, if you were to if you spend a lot of money on drain cleaning, you definitely have spent a lot on septic search, right? You just may not realize it. And then commercial. So we want to stay away from any commercial or industrial drains if you don't do that kind of work. So it's all common sense here. It's just we're creating different pathways of how people find you, and when we do that, the more details that we put into play, you have a lot of control on how the costing impacts your budget, right? So if I combine plumbing in with my drain cleaning campaign, and I don't block drain equipment, you just gotta spend a lot of money for terms that, are gonna bleed you dry. So we want to run a very tight, conservative campaign. We want to put some audiences in place. I always like to incorporate different audiences in my campaigns. I don't want everybody to see my ads. Not everybody is going to be a customer, right? So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about these audiences. We're going to exclude renters. We're going to target people over 35. We're going to spend more money on people that are searching for food and dining. If there's a drain problem, they're most likely going to eat out tonight, right? That they're married, they have a family, more people in the home, greater amount of pain there is, plumbing fixtures. We're going to decrease that. So if somebody's searching for a sink, drain repair or drain backup, we're going to decrease people who are searching for fixtures. And what this is an in-market audience. We can actually target people or exclude people who are actually in the market searching for plumbing fixtures. So if you remodel bathrooms or kitchens, then this would be a campaign that you could set up just targeting people who are into this. Next, we're going to do something strategic here. We're going to take your customer list and we're going to have you pull out all of the customers that have done business with you, but they've only given you a service call fee. And what this list is, it's a list of people who weren't good fits, and they all share some common DNA, right? They're all cousins of each other, and we want to exclude that type of audience, or we want to decrease it. We don't want to spend a premium on this audience. They all share something in common. They all have that cheap gene or whatever, and Google's going to figure out the commonalities within the list, right? So there's a feature called Customer Match. We're going to put the list into Google. Google goes out, they identify these people as a certain type of audience, and we don't want to exclude them completely from this because there may be some good fits built into that list, but we want to decrease the amount we're willing to pay, right? We definitely want to target people with a higher income household, household income. Men, believe it or not, men interact with your ads and convert 2 to 1 compared to women. You would think that the women are calling on this campaign, but 2 to 1, men actually convert higher than women, and both search the same amount. So both have the same amount of clicks, but conversions, men 2 to 1 on loss leaders. New homeowners, we're going to increase the amount that we spend there. We do a lot more than this, but this gives you a general idea of, the power of what you can do when you put a campaign together. It's kind of like direct mail. If you've ever done direct mail in the past, you can, pick the list, and that's what we're doing here. We're creating a list that makes sense for the services that we want to position, and only these people who are on my list are going to see the ad, right? I don't want everybody who has a drain problem come through my pipeline. I want the ones that are most likely to do business with me, right? Now we're going to take a look at your device strategy. We're certainly going to spend more on mobile. I run a lot of mobile-only campaigns, so we're only just advertising on mobile. 3 to 1 ratio of traffic from mobile to desktop. This is nationwide. So, when I give you these numbers, I'm looking at all of my drain cleaning companies as a whole. 3 to 1 ratio of traffic, mobile to desktop. That basically means, for every one person searching on desktop, there's 3 people on a mobile device. And of that, yeah, we're going to get double the conversion on mobile and an overall lower lead cost on mobile because the market is on mobile. That's where your market is. Um, Now, not to say that you won't get conversions and leads on desktop, but for the highest degree of pain and for the better, in my opinion, the overall better lead quality, it's going to come in through a mobile device. And then there's time of day. This is a cutout of a consolidated average of I think I pulled 10 drain cleaning companies here. Time of day and the number of leads. And there's volume at every single time of day. There's a lead cost by time of day. And if you were trying to conserve budget or make your budget more efficient, then what you would do is you would overlay your lead cost by time of day, and then you would figure out, well, 3 o'clock, I get a lot of leads. I'm probably not spending as much as I am at 2 o'clock here, so I'm going to cut 2 o'clock out and spend more from 3 to 5 or 3 to 7 and whatnot. So using timing to your advantage, and when we do that, I like to create ads by time of day. We may have an AM and PM ad. AM, if somebody's searching from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., the ad may say something like call now for service before noon. Or if it's first call, give us a call. We have a technician standing by. We'll be there in 20 minutes or less. So you can customize the ad by time of day. Later in the afternoon, we may change that over to 3 appointments remaining. Give us a call. 4-hour turnaround. Whatever strategy we come up with here. This is what we would build into the account. And I like to build a lot of different scenarios. So, we're not building when we're managing. It's already built out and it's ready to go. So that gives you an idea on drain cleaning strategy and all the things that go into making the phone ring. And when you apply these advertising principles in Google Ads, you're going to spend a lot less. Your quality is going to improve, and you're going to be happy with the consistency that you get out of the campaign. Check, check.